The next one says, set a goal so big that you can't achieve it until you grow into the person who can. And that's by Dokoshi Nomichi. Probably slaughtered that name, sorry. But it's a very interesting idea. And it sort of encapsulates really what part of manifestation is about. Because we kind of just go, oh, I want the thing. I want the $1 million. I want the new car. I want the job. I want all the different things. But if you think about the cliche of the person who wins the lottery and then 3 years later they're more broke than they were before before they won, and they can't hold the money. And that's a lot to do with because they couldn't hold a frequency. They couldn't hold the frequency of the money. Now, I know that sounds a bit like woo-woo, but it's like they couldn't be the person who was that wealthy. It freaked them out. So they gave it away. They made bad investments. They couldn't see themselves as that person. Because a lot of becoming the person you want to be is slowly changing your self-image of who you see yourself as being. And that's not easy. That's why this is good, because it's like set a goal that's so big for yourself, or I don't know about goal is the right word, but like an intention. I am going to have this thing, do this thing, be this person, start this thing, whatever it is. Set something that's so big that you have to change. Like you have to grow into becoming that person. That if you don't grow into becoming that person, it's not going to happen. So you have to sort of change your frequency to be able to do that. And one of the ways to do that is to kind of get very specific about it. Like write down, write down who you will be to achieve this thing that you want to do, or to become this thing that you want to do. So let's say you want to start a very successful company. So you would have to write down, you don't have to, but you could write down all the different things about what kind of person you will be in order to have the big company. Let's say you want to start a big charity. So you'd write down what kind of person, who will I be if I am able to do that. Let's say you want to be a fantastic therapist or healer type person. It's the same again. What kind of person would I be? Because you're not already that. So it's not enough to just write down, oh, I want to be this thing. To be that thing and to hold the frequency of the thing, you have to become the person who can hold it. And because it hasn't happened, chances are you're not that person yet. Same with relationships. What kind of relationship? I want to have this kind of lovely relationship. Well, what kind of person would I be to be able to have that kind of thing? I want to have a big circle of friends. What kind of person would I have to be in order to be able to have that? So it's a very powerful little way of looking at things. What kind of person will I have to be to get this thing that I want, or to become this thing that I want? And so if you set it, I mean, there's a few different ways. I mean, of course, baby steps are important, but then you can start to work towards that person. So let's say you kind of go, well, that person would be very confident. That version of me would be very confident. And they'd be very in control of money, for example, or very confident with money. So if you're not particularly confident with money, then you would I'm going to have to grow into that. But you can start that now, because you can think about the future version of yourself that you're intending to grow into, and you go, how would they behave? I've just got my gas bill. How would that version of me relate to this? And then you can start relating to it that way. And it's all internal. It's not like you start spending like you've got loads of money. I don't mean that. But it's like you start changing the way you think about things to the way you would think about things when you become that person. So you almost become that person now, Because money, for example, is something that is mostly in our minds, you know? Like, you know how much money you have in the bank, but you're not sitting in front of it all the time, looking at it going, oh, look at all the money I have. It's in your head, okay? Or it's whenever you look at your, on your phone or wherever it is, you check your balance or whatever. But most of the time it's not present. So most of the time you're just carrying this energetic version of yourself on the inside. So if you feel like you have no money and you're poor or you're broke or whatever way you describe it, and you want to have money, then you can start feeling like that most of the time now. You know, and the only times that you won't feel like that is when you are checking your bank balance. But you'd be surprised, the more you change how you feel on the inside and more you kind of try on this future version of yourself, surprisingly, you start to become it. You start to take these baby steps towards it. When you ask yourself, how would that future version of me relate to this situation that I'm in now? It doesn't really matter what it is to do. Money is handy because it's quantifiable. But whether it's relationships, whether it's building an organization, whether it's becoming super fit, whether it's whatever it is, you know, it's pretty much a neutral field. We think we have to earn all this stuff and we have to get permission and we have to deserve things. We don't. It's all just reflective of what's going on inside us. When you know that, then you can start to change what's going on inside you right now, and that has a big effect.